Hi and welcome to A World of Words. I'm Vanessa and today I will be doing my July reading wrap-up. So as you've probably noticed, I don't normally do monthly reading wrap-ups, and that's because when I first started my channel I had every intention of reviewing and putting up a book talk for every single book that I read, and so I thought that it would be kind of redundant to review every book and then do a monthly wrap-up of the books that I'd already reviewed. It just didn't really make sense to me to do all of that, but it turns out that I haven't been reviewing every single book I read. It just doesn't happen, time gets away from me, and so I thought that it would be fun this month at least to try and do a monthly wrap-up and see how it goes. At least briefly talk about the books that I read, even though I'm probably not going to review every single one of them. So the first book I read, this is going to have a bit of a theme to this month, since I'll give you a clue. July was part of the Harry Potter rereadathon, so bet you're guessing what I read. That was weird. First, I read the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I actually reread this. All of the Harry Potter books are rereads. I think I actually started this in the end of June-ish and then finished it in early July, but I'm gonna count it for July since I didn't even do a June wrap-up, so you're counting for July since you're kind of like half and half. I think I read most of it in July. Harry Potter, the Prisoner of Azkaban. I absolutely love this book so much. Poor thing is like not looking so great. It was super fun to reread it. The plot in this one is actually really good. I don't know why I said actually. I knew it was good because I read it a million times and I love it, but yeah, it was really fun. Even after reading it a million times, it's still really fun to see how everything comes together and all of the clues that were left for Sirius actually are all about Peter. Spoilers. Sorry. I'm sorry if I spoiled anyone, but you probably read Harry Potter anyway. Next, I started reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I still think this might be my favorite. I haven't finished rereading the entire series, but I'm pretty sure this is still gonna be my favorite. I love it so much. It's so much fun, and you can see it's also kind of falling apart because I've read it so many times and it has some weird stains on it. I think that's nail polish. That's red. I hope that's nail polish. Or paint or marker or something. I don't even know where all these stains came from. I brought it to the beach multiple times, so. And then actually while I was in the middle of reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, it was the Summer 2016 biannual Bibliothon, and so I read The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, which I will leave a picture of it somewhere on the screen because I had to give it back to the library. I really enjoyed The Unexpected Everything. It's a contemporary book about a girl who has her life all figured out, and then due to unforeseen circumstances, some crazy stuff happens and all of her plans, her internship gets taken away from her, and she ends up having to just like get a regular job during the summer, and she gets to hang out and have all this free time with her friends, and it's all about like friendship and family and romance and all of this stuff happening. It's a super long contemporary. It's like 560 pages or something. It was really long contemporary, but I really enjoyed it. I heard a lot of people thinking that it was a little slow to start out, or maybe they didn't even like it at all, but I actually was drawn into it from the beginning. Andy, while I understand her desire to be organized because I like to be organized too, especially if I'm planning important things. She's a little more like crazy organized than I am, and I did enjoy reading her character, even though sometimes there were things about her I didn't really like, but she made sense to me and fairly consistent in her character. I think she had a lot of growth, which was good, and then she kind of lost it a little bit along the way, and she did a couple things that I wasn't too like, that's kind of a weird thing to do, But overall, I really did enjoy the book. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars just because the ending was sadder than I expected it to be. It was more bittersweet. I was hoping for like a happy ending, like Since You've Been Gone. I guess Since You've Been Gone was a slightly bittersweet too, but I feel like Since You've Been Gone was a little bit happier than this one. Like some things kind of happened at the end of this one that, I don't know, made me pretty sad. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It might actually deserve 5 out of 5 stars. I don't know. Because after hearing some people's opinions on it and hearing it discussed in a live show, I'm like, maybe it should have deserved 5 stars, but I don't think I'm gonna change it. I really, when I have a contemporary, I really want it to be like 100% happy ending, and it wasn't. So that's my only problem with it. Actually, my favorite part of the book was that the male love interest was a writer of a fantasy series, and he was just adorable and perfection, and I absolutely loved him. Though I do think he might have been partially based off of Christopher Paolini, who wrote the Aragon series, because it said that he was a homeschooled teenager when he wrote his book. It was a fantasy series, and that's kind of Christopher Paolini's backstory. But I don't know if that's true. That's just me noticing some similarities. But yeah, I really enjoyed The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. And then after finishing that one, I went back and I finished Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And then finally I read Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Again, I really love this one. This one is the longest of the books. I think I found Harry a little bit angstier than I remember him being when I was reading this when I was a teenager. Maybe that says something about your mental state. I feel like he was a little bit more reasonable back when I read it. Now when I'm rereading it like in my 20s, I'm just like, get a grip. Like, you've been through a lot, but like, stop yelling at your friends and stop getting yourself in trouble and stop losing all of the points and stop it. Just stop it. Calm down. Just want to like have a sit down with Harry and tell him to calm down, especially when it comes to Umbridge. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. Again, I always give all of the Harry Potter books like 5 out of 5 stars, I think. So that was my month of July. Actually, when I was thinking of doing this video, and I was like, I don't know if I should do it because I didn't really read that much in July. And now, looking back, I realized I actually read a lot more than I thought I did. I read 4 books, and 3 out of the 4 books were massive. It's 870 pages, so 734. I don't know, I read at least 300 pages of this one, I think. And then the Morgan Matson book was like almost 600 pages. So that's a lot of pages that I read in 1 month, so I think that's actually really good. Oh, on the theme of Harry Potter, since this is kind of a Harry Potter recap month, I'm actually behind on the Harry Potter reread-a-thon. I know we were supposed to have finished The Deathly Hallows, but I haven't. Like I said, those books are long, and because I reread my whole like massive novel this month. Does that count? Was doing some editing and splitting chapters in half because the chapters were crazy long, and just coming up with new chapter titles, and also like creating lists and organizing stuff. That's probably why it took me so long, because I was also rereading. Doing a lot of editing for my own book. Keep with the theme of Harry Potter. When I was doing some birthday shopping this weekend, I got some Harry Potter playing cards, and I'm super excited about them. Here they are. They're really pretty. It's got the Hogwarts castle on the back, which I think is really pretty, and then they have cool things. Ooh, the snitch. And like Crookshanks, dragons, then that was upside down, creepy clown, Quidditch supplies, swords, all sorts of fun stuff. So I'm excited to use these when I play cards. Also, I got a time turner, which I would show you, but I have to open this drawer and it's kind of blocked by my display and my lights, so I'm not going to do that right now. I will show you the time turner in the video because I really want to do a book characters review books video with Hermione. I just need to figure out what book that I want her to review. So as far as my August TBR. I don't normally do TBRs either, and that's just because I'm a mood reader. I like to just decide after I finish one book what I feel like reading next. But this month I kind of have a plan, so may as well do a TBR. I don't think I'm gonna bother to hold them up though. So I've currently started Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and then after I finish this, hopefully I finish this in the month. I'd be pretty sad if I didn't, and I'll read Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And also, I don't know if you saw my video announcement, but I have a book club on Goodreads called Reading and Rambling, and we read like YA sci-fi fantasy stuff. And this month we are reading Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and we're going to do a live show. If you want to join that, even if you're doing a reread, because I am rereading it and I read it in one day because I loved it so much. So I will be rereading Cinder as well, and that's 3 books already. And I will probably read, I don't know if you can see it, and I want to take it out because I have Cosima and Sarah from Orphan Black. My Funkos are currently sitting in front of it, and I don't want to knock them over. But there's Vitro or Vitro by, okay, hopefully she won't fall over. Cosima likes to fall over because her hair is so big. It's full of secrets. It's full of science, actually. Her hair is full of science. Yeah, I'm probably going to read this one because I was saving it for my birthday, but I was curious and I read like 20 pages and I really liked it. So I'm going to hopefully read this. It's pretty short and her writing style is amazing. 4 books seems pretty good for a month, so I'm probably not going to put anything else on my TBR. If I am going to read anything else, it would either be Siege and Storm, I believe, which is the 2nd book of the Christian trilogy. Either that or Carry On or And I Darkened by Kirsten White. Those are like the 3 books I'm pretty curious about and I think I really want to read next, so probably going to be one of those books if I don't read this one or if I read it super fast. So that is my July reading wrap up and tentative TBR. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see more wrap ups. I might do them because, as I said, I tend to not review every single book I read. Time just seems to get away from me, or even if I do review them, it might even be like a month later that I do the review, so this way you can be kind of like in the loop, because this is about a channel about books after all. So hopefully you enjoyed this. So please give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you want to be notified every time I upload new videos. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!